YouTube world, and Happy New Year! Yay, 2020! So I am back after having my baby in 2019, and we did an Instagram poll back in the fall to see what you guys wanted to do for this first vlog video. What did you want to know? What did you want to hear about? So basically everybody said they wanted to know what was new at Walt Disney World. That's a lot to cover, so I'm just going to kind of highlight the high points from 2019 to 2020, and then on to what we know is coming, but we don't have exact dates yet. So let's first cover who I am. My name is Brittany. I'm a Disney consultant through Destination Orlando. Basically, I plan your Disney trips for free. Not just Walt Disney World, I do also cover Disneyland, Aulani, Disney Adventures, as well as Disney Cruise Line. So all of that I plan for free. If you're interested, please reach out to me. I'll make sure to have my contact information in the description below. So let's get started. 2019. A lot happened at Walt Disney World in 2019. But let's just kind of go through the highlights. With Hollywood Studios, you had Toy Story Land really took off. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, where kids can learn what it's like to be a racer like Lightning McQueen, opened. And then the biggest news for 2019 in Hollywood Studios, Galaxy's Edge is there. So if you have not gone in 2019 and you plan to go in 2020, that is something you definitely want to check out. You can fly the Millennium Falcon on Smuggler's Run. There's Rise of the Resistance. There's a cantina, Olga's Cantina, and then there's specialty food specific to Galaxy's Edge, much like Pandora. Sorry, having a little trouble talking. So those were the big things in 2019 that happened in Hollywood Studios that you're gonna want to check out. Ask questions about for 2020. Add it to your itinerary. Ask us how, what's the best plan of attack for this stuff. Epcot. Let's talk about Epcot because that had a lot of changes as well. Not a lot, but it's beginning to transition. Epcot's going through a big remodel. They already removed the Millennium stone walls when you went through the entrance where everybody had their photos. Those have been removed and are going to be relocated, but that whole entrance is getting redone. They also no longer have Illuminations. Illuminations is gone. It now has a temporary night show called Epcot Forever, which will transition into the final nighttime show that will take off when the Epcot revamp is complete. So Epcot's going to be going through a lot the next couple, the next years, and we'll cover that more when we get to 2020 and ongoing. There were two big changes for transportation in Disney World for 2019. First was the buses. Buses have been redone. There's new wraps. They're all themed. They have character theming for each bus. And then some of them on the interior actually have charging ports and Wi-Fi capabilities. So this is a huge step for Disney, because if you were on the bus and you were checking a fast pass, trying to book a fast pass, trying to book dining, and you had cellular data, you're eating up your data to do this. Now if you are on a bus with Wi-Fi capability and charging capability, one, you don't have to worry about your phone dying, and two, you can book all this using Wi-Fi. You do not have to use your data anymore if you are on one of those buses. I'll have a link down below so you guys can kind of see what Disney released as far as photos. Also, I'm sorry if I'm looking over there. I have Henry in his bouncer playing, so I'm just trying to check on him. Lastly, for transportation, the Skyliner went up, and the Skyliner is gondola transportation to and from Hollywood Studios, stopping at resorts of Pop Century and Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach Resort, and the new Riviera Resort. So you can get to and from Hollywood Studios using the Skyliner. Each gondola is wrapped, and I will have another link for that down below so you guys can see what that is looking like. All right, let's talk resorts. There were two big changes to resorts in 2019. One was the new Riviera Tower Resort that went up. It looks amazing. It's a DVC main resort, but obviously non-DVC members can stay there. And it has all different kinds of restaurants, and it's supposed to be absolutely beautiful. Again, I'll have a link down below for that. Coronado Springs was redone. Actually, they added a tower to Coronado Springs and just did a lot of renovations to it. And it is a moderate resort. So if you're one of those people that likes to stay at the moderate resort and maybe you want a little taste of deluxe in there, I would say stay at Coronado Springs. It looks pretty awesome. So that kind of covers all of 2019. A lot happened this past year actually, that you're going to want to consider when you go in 2020 that may not have been there before. All right, let's move on to this year, 2020. What is coming? Basically a lot going on at Epcot. So in January 2020, you got the new Land Pavilion film called Awesome Planet coming, as well as a Beauty and the Beast sing-along coming to the France Pavilion. Also in the France Pavilion, the much anticipated Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is going to open this summer, 2020, as well as the new restaurant that's going to be right next to it, and I cannot pronounce it, so just kind of like bear with me. It's La Crêperie de Paris. I probably butchered that, but that is what is coming to Epcot in 2020. Also in 2020, replacing the Great Movie Ride, which I love so much, so Disney, please make sure that this new ride is good. The Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will open at the Chinese Theater in the spring. So that is going to be huge. And lastly, what is also coming in the spring in 2020, Circus du Soleil and Walt Disney are getting together to do a new show. It is going to start with some previews in March, beginning March 20th, 2020, and then the big world premiere is going to be April 17th. So that is those are items to look forward to in 2020, that when you're going, consider these dates as items that you may want to add to your itinerary, or maybe you want to delay your trip so you can go on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Just an idea. So here we go. That's everything for 2020. So let's move on to this massive list I have, which I'm going to condense into just the highlights for what we know is coming, but there's no dates. You have the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Resort, which is really kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons meets Disney, meets Star Wars, meets resort. So all this stuff coming together to create an immersive experience for guests, where they're going to interact with like a theme and adventures and a storyline and Star Wars Jedi training, and something I would definitely be interested in doing once it comes out, because I love Star Wars. So that looks like it's going to be cool. Also, the new DVC resort that is coming out is called Disney's Lakeside Lodge, and we don't have too much information, but we know that that is coming. Magic Kingdom's getting the Tron Light Cycle ride, so that looks awesome. It is not your typical roller coaster where you're sitting down and you got the strap across your lap, or you got the harness coming over you. You are in a light cycle, so you're kind of in a motorcycle in the position that you would be if you were driving a motorcycle, and that's how you ride the roller coaster. So definitely a cool experience to be coming. We know that the first attraction inspired by Mary Poppins is going to be opening up in the United Kingdom Pavilion. So that's exciting. I love Mary Poppins and Julie Andrews, and just that movie was fantastic. Mission Space is getting an expansion with a new restaurant called Space 220 or 220. It is going to basically be like you're in this spaceship looking down at Earth and into space, like a panoramic view. So that'll be awesome to try and to do, especially if you're into space and you got kids that want to be astronauts. It's a great place that you're going to want to eventually eat at once we get more detail. And let's just end on what we know is the last item I want to touch on, and it actually, I got some footage from my January 2019 vlog, so I'll have a link down to that video below if you guys want to check it out. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This is where Ellen's Universe of Energy used to be. It's going to be a crazy, thrilling roller coaster that's going to tell a story around the Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's everything that happened in 2019, everything that we are expecting in 2020. and then a list of things that we know that are coming that we don't have dates on. So stay tuned, because we'll definitely be covering that in future vlogs once we get more information. If you guys have any questions or you want to talk Disney, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information, again, I will make sure I have it below. And have a magical day.